Joe Biden ended the war on Christmas. It's official. Christmas won. Like, I firmly do not think the Mountain Goats are folk punk at all. You know how, like, most people be like, man, my, like, girlfriend has a crush on Harry Styles. I don't look like Harry Styles. Like, he's way hotter than me. Hello, welcome back to Off the Air.
Yeah, it sure is off the air. The one and only
It
Thanos
sure-
podcast where we talk about Thanos.
Thanks, Noah.
No problem. I, for one,
So,
am very curious why you so wanted to talk about Thanos.
It's not like I desperately wanted. I just was like, oh, we should talk about. Did I message it in all caps in the Discord?
You did.
All right, well, that does make it sound pretty intense. But I first of all, watched Eternals just yesterday or 2 days ago, recently, and I don't want to get too much into it because it did just come out. But if you're thinking about watching it, really don't do it. It sucks. It's bad. It's boring and long, and that's like. I'm not comparing it to all movies. I'm comparing it specifically to other Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, compared to movies that I don't like, it sucks and is too boring and long. Yeah, I had a bad time. It made no sense. The movie made no sense. It feels like a shittier version of the not Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Which was already a shittier version of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
It was like 4 bad movies in one movie, and I just, like, by the end of it, my friend that was sitting next to me, like, leaned over and she was like, hey, what did this person just do? Did they just, like, do whatever? And I was like, honestly, I don't care. And, like, it wasn't like a me being rude, but it was just like it'd been 2.5 hours. I did not give a shit. None of the characters were enticing. They were all freshly introduced. Half of them weren't even introduced until near the end. And I was just like, I don't really care. Like, I couldn't care.
Yikes. See that? I don't know. That's, as someone who hasn't seen the movie, I feel like that's how I've been feeling about a lot of just movies in general recently. But especially like a lot of the new Marvel lineup, where I'm just like, I mean, yeah, it could be cool, but
they're making it. It exists.
They sure are making movies.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it's like, I remember we got out of the movie and I was talking to I was talking to Mari about it, and we were like, hey, I was like, what did you like about the movie? Was it good? She was like, well, it was directed by like a Chinese woman, and I was like, She's like, I had the most diverse cast. And I was like, I liked both of those things too. And then we never said. Then that was the end of the conversation. For things that were good about it, I just think it was bad. Actor. I told Noah this before recording because I don't want to go too into detail. But actors that I genuinely like I really like Brian Tyree Henry, who is the actor that plays. Oh fuck, I don't care about his name in the movie. Honestly, like Hephaestus. Or it was like not really Hephaestus. That was a misnomer. I don't give a shit. It sucks. I think his name was Hephaestus or Festus or Festo or something. He's a great actor, and I love him in Atlanta. I think he is phenomenal, and all of his lines just fall flat in this movie, and it's really unfortunate, and it makes me sad to see.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like it's just been a bad time recently for good actors in not great movies.
Like, I respect that. I think they had a good director. They had a good cast overall. They had some good ideas to it, and I feel like there was just a lot of actors that were like, "Well, we can get some Marvel movie and get out of here." And I don't blame them for that. I don't fault them for that.
No, yeah. If you're an actor, especially right now, it's really hard to be getting a job. I feel like.
Oh yeah. Wait, Noah, have you seen Train to Busan?
I regretfully have not seen it yet.
Oh, really? I thought you would have liked it. You'd probably like it.
Well, that's the thing, is I've seen half of it, and it was a night where I realized about halfway through, I'm like, I love this movie, and I really only wanted a fun distraction movie tonight that I didn't have to pay a lot of attention to.
It is a bit of a soul crusher.
And as such, I was like, I can't really watch this right now.
Yeah, that's fair. The actor, though, Ma Dong-seok, plays the Songhua. He's like the big buff dude, you know? Like the dad has a really little girl, and he's just like, or the pregnant wife, and he's like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of all these zombies. You know how, like, in the movie, he just, like, wraps up his arms and just punches really hard? He did the same thing in this one.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they were like, what if instead of wrapping up his arms and punching zombies really hard. We wrapped up his arms in special effects, and he punched deviants super hard. I get it, but I think he's a really talented actor. He seems like a really nice guy, and it sucks that they put him in the exact same kind of role that he was in Train to Busan, where he was like a big sweetheart, a lovable guy that was also big punching.
Yeah.
I think that's lost, and I feel like it's an unfortunate decision because like he's not that. Like, I don't know. I feel like they could have used him in a different like typecasted role because like with Brian Tyree Henry, they completely differently typecasted him from his like I would say his big character is definitely Paperboy in Atlanta, and they like completely typecasted him differently, which was cool, but I also think it fell a little flat.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just feel like there could have I don't know. I feel like there could have been some different casting, some better casting, and some better like treatment of the like some more. I don't know. Just like it feels bad that they took him and they just did the same thing that he was in his other like breakout film for
Mhm.
Madongseok. I think I'm probably butchering the pronunciations, but I don't speak Korean at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. It sucked. I don't want to talk about it too much more because I don't want to get into spoiler territory.
Yeah,
But
it,
like,
it is a brand new movie. We
don't.
believe it or not, we talked about it a little bit for casual horror too.
Mm.
Casual obsession. Because
Yeah, I
we
know.
two of our hosts, Nina and Emma, have just gone to see it as well. And they didn't like it either.
I knew that Nina saw it, and that's why as soon as I got out of the theaters, because I went with, because I was visiting Mari for the weekend, and her one friend was like, "Hey, I really want to go to see this movie," and we had just like bailed on her for like 2 events the day before, so we were like, "Okay, we gotta go see the movie,"
Mhm.
just because like you know, and not because it was like we weren't like dreading it, but we just were like, well, neither of us really that excited for it, but you know, her friend wanted to see, and we wanted to support her friend,
Yeah.
and there's nothing, you know, so we, you know,
Neither of
it
you were
was one of
super
those like.
excited, but it's also realistically not a movie that while you wouldn't have watched it otherwise, it's not like you're angry that you watched it.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, and it's not like we were gonna be like mad about like they're like being like, no, I heard it's not very good. We don't want to hang out with your friend. Like, you know, we just went and saw it.
Mhm.
And I knew that like most of the group was like really big, like Marvel, like super fans, like Marvel can do no wrong, Disney is perfect kind of
Yeah.
moviegoers there, and so like I
You were
didn't want to be
already going to
shitty.
have some clashing with it. There was no reason to also be like saying
Yeah,
that
I
at
didn't
the
want to be
same
shitty,
time.
so I got out and I just immediately messaged Nina. I'm like, hey, just saw Eternals, and she's like, what'd you think? And I just responded bad. Like I, she's like, "Oh yeah, what'd you think?" I'm like, "Bad." She's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I
She
was like, "I
came
don't really
home and I'm
like."
like, "Oh, how was it?" And she's like, "It was okay." And I'm like, "Really?" And she's like, "Well, I mean, you know." And I did,
Have you seen the names of the 10 main characters?
Kingo, Sprite.
He
Um,
knows.
I got to be honest, the fact that Kingo isn't pronounced Kingo, which is also bad, but at least wouldn't be Kingo.
I know, like the one is like Thena, and then like they make a thing. They're like, "Not Athena, drop the A." And but then the other one, they're like, "What's his name?" Oh, that's Gilgamesh. No, they got that one right. Fuck do you mean?
Well, at least they got one name right. Good old
Somebody.
Gilgamesh.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh yeah, they figured out Gilgamesh. They couldn't get Thena." Okay. Um. Also, they when they introduce the character Sprite, they do it by talking about Sprite, and they don't actually show Sprite initially. And like, it's also in a scene where the character talking about Sprite is also mentioning beverages, and I was really confused. I'm not kidding.
I got to be honest, that's incredibly frustrating
Yeah, because he was
because
like, yeah, something about like, oh, you know, like my coffee turns into like water sometimes, or my water turns into coffee sometimes. Blah 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 blah. Sprite, blah blah blah. I'm like, Sprite. I thought like he meant
oh
like,
my
oh, also my water
gosh.
turns into Sprite, or like something happens with Sprite. Every character in the movie mumbles the whole time.
Oh no.
Yeah, it sucks. They mumble, and a lot of it's like accented.
Scottish accented?
You're like a guy with. There's some Scottish accents, a little English accent, maybe a little Welsh in there.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah. But yeah, it's bad. Don't. It's bad. It's also like it does the whole ancient aliens thing that like every movie seems to do. That's like, remember, guys, ancient Sumerians were way too stupid to do anything there on their own because they weren't. White people in medieval Europe who obviously did all those things on their own, but ancient Sumerians, they needed the help of the Eternals. No, man, the fucking like Hanging Gardens of Babylon are just amazing because it happened and we can't replicate it. And it's that impressive, not because of aliens, but because people had advanced mathematics and were inventing written communication.
Mm-hmm.
Fertile Crescent, dog. But it's also a movie. It's not selling it as reality. But yeah, it just the whole movie also felt really fake.
That's
Kind of gave me
unfortunate.
like the Lion King, like the most recent Lion King movie,
Mm-hmm.
where everyone's like live action Lion King, but it's just like everything kind of looked like that movie did, where it's like this is
Oh,
obviously
yikes.
not real, and like even the costumes were just painfully green screened on.
Ew.
It just didn't look good. It just there was like some twists that were really obvious, some things that were really poor. It just bad. But we can talk about other stuff now.
I'm okay with that.
Um,
See,
we can talk about Thanos now.
see, I gotta ask though. I saw some really just god awful CG in some of
Yeah,
the teasers. How
no, it
much?
was the whole movie. The whole movie looked bad.
Oh no, I was really hoping you weren't gonna say that.
Now it looked like you were watching a movie that sometimes it just looked like you were watching a video game.
Man, there's ways that you can do that and not have it be terrible. It's not
Yeah.
easy to do it and not have it be terrible, but like there's ways.
Also, there was a villain that looked like handsome Squidward, and it was very funny.
Handsome Squidward is a villain. I love that.
Yeah, hilarious. Um, but we can talk about Thanos now, and not the Thanos brother thing. That don't worry about it.
The what?
Harry Styles is in the movie. It's fine.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Anyway, Thanos,
Regular Thanos.
which yeah, regular Thanos. So this leads into a different topic, which is just like, you know how some people will be like, yeah, post your childhood crush and then what your partner looks
Yeah.
like your childhood like film crush or whatever. Um, you know how like most people will be like, man, my like girlfriend has a crush on Harry Styles. I don't look like Harry Styles. Like he's way hotter than me.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, Harry Styles was on screen. Mario was like, oh, man, I wish he looked more like regular Thanos. Regular Thanos was hotter, and I was like,
What?
yeah, I'm not.
No.
This is not a dunk. First of all, Mari thinks that Thanos is hotter than Harry Styles. Um, and also she thinks I'm attractive, and it's just like, man, you, you know, who's another one of her
Oh no.
big childhood crushes?
Who?
Old John Travolta.
Wait, like not famous
No.
young John Travolta, not Saturday Night Travolta.
Bald,
Old Travolta. What?
Because I feel like sometimes people will be like, man, like, oh, my crush is like really into like Chris Evans. Oh, it's super like that sucks because I don't look like Chris Evans. I'm like, yeah, my girlfriend's into Chris Evans too. She thinks he's really, really hot. Not the guy with the snake face tattoo from Squid Game.
My gosh. This is such wonderful information. I love
It's
this.
really funny, and like, I, yeah, everyone has their interest, but it's just funny because if there's like a middlingly attractive bald guy in media, Mari's like, that guy's pretty cute.
Amazing.
I'm like, oh well,
This is the best news.
It's like, well, yeah. As someone who's losing my hair at a rapid rate, I'm like, this could be worse.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You could look like young John Travolta, and then you'd be in a bad
God
spot,
forbid. If I looked like young John Travolta, it'd be okay too because it's still John Travolta. But yeah,
but it's still
Just
best
funny.
to look like other John Travolta.
because yeah, if you were to ask my girlfriend which character is the most attractive in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, she would say Thanos.
I'm amazed at that.
I am not complaining.
I feel like Thanos is such a weird pick to be like, yeah, definitely the most attractive. Thanos, not Thanos' brother, Thanos.
Yeah.
Hey Nina, you're here.
Yeah, she was like,
Yeah.
man, I wish.
Who's-
She was like, man, I
who's a
wish Harry
celebrity
Styles.
crush of yours when you were a kid?
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. I don't look anything like Mark Hamill. Unfortunate.
Sorry, that's like little kid Nina.
You should tell her that Mari thinks Thanos is the hottest MCU character.
Mari thinks Thanos is the hottest MCU character. Nina's just kind of standing here open mouthed right now. I don't think she knows how to take it.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
What? Josh Brolin.
Well, yeah.
Is it Josh Brolin or is it Thanos?
It's not Josh Brolin. It's Thanos.
It's Thanos, not Josh Brolin, Nina.
Jesus
Christ.
I-
love her, but I'm worried for her health.
I'm not worried about it though. As a guy who will be bald in like a year, I can't complain that my girlfriend is into bald guys that are like, like a 6, 7 out of 10.
Would you call Thanos a 6, 7 out of 10?
Yeah,
Actually, no. Yeah, no. That's fair.
yeah. He's not. I think Thanos is like he's not. He's a pretty attractive guy. He's purple, yeah. Bit of a
Yeah,
weird chin, but he's other than that probably pretty normal.
that chin always has weirded me out. I don't know that I
Yeah,
like
why'd
it
they have to be like, hey, he was born with like
with a 6-pack chin.
folds? Yeah, like a really like weirdly he's got like a quadruple chin but sideways.
Yeah, that's just what it's like on his planet. You wouldn't understand.
Is it though?
Yeah, why not?
His brother's Harry Styles though.
Sounds to me like you're criticizing.
I'm just saying.
When your brother's Harry Styles,
Yeah.
I think you get away with a lot.
I feel like almost the opposite. They'd be like, why is he purple?
Wait, is Harry Styles also purple?
Before? No. In before DAE, actually Marvel characters, Harry Styles' character is technically more of an Eternal, so he has more to do with blah, blah, like I don't care. I really don't at me with it. He should be purple.
He should be purple, honestly.
He should be purple.
Let Harry Styles be purple. That's my new new
Yeah.
movement I'm trying to start.
So what else have you got going on in your past 7, Noah?
I gotta be honest, my past 7,
Besides
that it
being
hasn't-
married to an Eternals viewer.
an Eternals viewer, honestly, it did hit pretty hard. I gotta be honest though, my past 7, it's been pretty nondescript past 7. Let's see. I tried to apply at a liquor store right near my house. Haven't heard back yet. But I'm hopeful. It's within walking distance, and that's 100% the main selling point is with my current car situation. Heads up, I have a current car situation, and that situation is not great.
Not the Kia Soul.
Yeah, the Kia Soul, man, the Kia Soul might be dead, and by might be, I
can't
mean
believe
it's
a Kia
fixable,
Soul.
but like I don't want to spend a lot of money fixing it, so I'm gonna be focusing a lot more on trying to replace it. You know,
Well, I mean, we know there's other white Kia Souls in the area.
we do indeed, man. It's
So are you looking for another Kia Soul?
you may be surprised to hear this, but not in a million years. In fact, the
I still
last
think
thing
the
I want
greatest
is a Kia
thing-
Soul.
I still think the most powerful thing about the Kia Soul is the fact that on the side of the Kia Soul it says Kia Soul. Like inside of the car.
It
Not
says Kia
outside
Soul
it says
in
it too.
so many areas. It's just
Yeah.
way too proud of being a Kia
The
Soul.
inside of the car is like, we gotta make sure people know that this is a Kia Soul. They do, man. Everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the headroom. Shut up about the headroom.
I'll give it that. The headroom, honestly, is a really nice addition. You know, I can't be too mad about the headroom.
Kia Soul owners be like, yeah, but the headroom though.
That's literally like the only thing. Did I tell you about how a mom was telling me, "Oh man, I love your car. If I wasn't married, I would have that car. If I wasn't married and I didn't have kids, that's the car I would have." And I'm like, "No,
Oh yeah.
stop."
The Kia Soul, the single man's car.
It was such a bad moment. I'm like, are you seriously sitting here telling me about how much of an old lady mom car I'm driving? Come on.
Or just like not old lady mom car, single young lady, no kids car. She thinks the Kia Soul is the car for people who fuck. She's wrong.
She is. She's so wrong.
Like I've never seen a Kia Soul and be like, man, that's a sexy car. That's a single person's
You know
car.
why she
That's
liked
like
it? She liked the storage space in it.
What
I'm
do you-
like, what do you mean?
that's a-
you like the storage
then
space
you
is
would
fine,
want it.
right? The
then
storage
why would
space-
you not want to have kids to have it? Why'd you be like,
That's-
yeah,
that's
if I
exactly what
didn't
I'm
have
saying.
kids.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, what do you mean the storage space is nice? Because
I'm pretty
honestly,
sure the Kia Soul is like marketed as like a one two child family car
I think it is, and that's the
or a
thing.
loser car. Am I right, everybody?
That's what I think too. But yeah, I don't know. It was a whole experience though having that conversation, and it was not a good experience if we're being honest.
Not a good one, but a whole one.
A whole entire experience. You know,
You know,
maybe
I do
someday
also-
I won't have that experience, but probably not.
Yeah, I do also drive a Kia, so like I understand a little bit, but it's one of the ones that's slightly cooler.
Yeah.
Also, I'm amazed that I feel like the Kia Soul should be cheaper than it is.
It really should. That's
It
is
should be a
the
dirt
one
cheap
nice
car.
thing is that I am gonna get a decent bit of money when I sell the car. I just have to fix it first.
Yeah.
Timing belt's gone. According to the Kia store, it's gonna be $1,000 fix. That sounds like a lot of money, and I don't think that that's true. So I'm gonna get a second opinion and get it repaired at not the Kia store. So, you know,
Yeah, I've never gone back to the dealership after I bought my car. They were like, "You can come in here and we'll like change your oil." I'm like, I don't really want to see you guys again.
you're like, oh, cool, thanks. I'm really happy to hear that. Actually,
Yeah, let me go hang out with the
anyway,
Kia salesman.
man, that sounds incredibly sad. No offense if you're the Kia salesman, but like, come on, guy,
Yeah.
you can do better.
I feel like yeah, if I had to sell, like if I had to go be a car salesman for a company, I would not pick Kia. No,
No,
if you had to sell cars, which dealership kind of would you go to? Like which kind of car dealership?
I mean, I don't want to be that guy that's like, Toyota, because the Toyota Corolla or Honda. But I feel like I could get behind selling Hondas, you know?
I could not, in good conscience, talk to the kind of people who buy a Honda Civic.
Really? Why not?
Yeah, because everybody who drives a Honda Civic talks about the fact that the Honda Civic is cool. It's a cool guy's car, and they like Monster Energy drinks.
Okay, so firstly, it's rude of you to call me out that directly. Secondly, I would never call the Honda Civic a cool guy's car. I don't know where that thought would come from.
Honda Civic guys think the Honda Civic is a cool car.
They really do. That's
It's the
pretty
same
unfortunate.
as any other mid-price sedan. They're literally almost identical. The Honda Civic has a little bit of like a curve to it. It's got a little like vein down the side and a little fin on the back.
Why do you have to call it a vein, dude?
Oh, I don't know what else would you call it. It's got like the little like
I don't know. I wouldn't have
indent,
called it that though. This is
little
something.
ridge.
Ridge feels better. I don't know.
I don't know if it's as accurate. I don't know what you want me to say. I feel like I would probably go to like Subaru. I'd probably sell cars for like Subaru.
I could get behind that.
But only the kind of cars that like the same kind of Monster Energy drinking, drywall punching guys don't like. Because there's like some Subarus that like the guys who suck, who like the Honda Civic, will also be like, yeah, that's a sick ass Subaru, dog. That's some like what's that, quad exhaust? I just want to sell like Outbacks to like, I don't know, middle aged people.
I can get behind that thought though.
Hey, you want a Subaru
Makes sense.
Outback? And then it's like a middle aged person will be like, yeah, I love a Subaru Outback.
And you're like, tight. I got a Subaru Outback, and that's the whole deal. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no more after that.
What about the Subaru Baja? Are you familiar?
Subaru Baja. Cannot say I am.
Oh man, Subaru Baja is cool as hell.
Is that like the Taco Bell
Subaru.
Baja Blast?
It's honestly pretty blasting, but it is not affiliated with Taco Bell.
Wow. That I
It
don't know about
is
that.
it's what the kids call a ute. It's like a utility truck, which is kind of like a cross between a sedan and a truck. So it's
Okay.
got like it's got like just like a 4 to 6 foot bed. Like it's a pretty small truck bed, and it's mostly like just a normal car, but it's also got like some utility capabilities. And yeah, they were immensely unpopular and only ever sold like 30,000 of them. But yeah, my friend
Unfortunate.
Jared has one. And so all of our friends get really excited about the Subaru Baja. Because it's technically a rare car.
Technically. Man,
It's not a valuable car, but it's technically a rare car.
you know, there is something that feels kind of special when you're able to say, technically, I have a special rare car.
Yeah, like it's not a great car. It's pretty cool looking though. I think I linked it
I feel like
the,
I've
the
seen
chat
a
there.
few like that before.
Yeah, there's some spinning around. I mean, 30,000 isn't a lot of cars, but like,
You know, here's the
you know,
thing, right?
given it actually kind of
It
is.
looks just so much like a Subaru. I always forget how
Oh, yeah.
Subaru-y all Subarus look.
Yeah, they're pretty similar. Pretty Subaru-y.
Big Subaru energy. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like after saying the word Subaru 3 times, it starts to just mean nothing to me.
It already was kind of on the verge of being a fake word anyway.
Yeah, car
And-
names are like some of the least real words.
Yeah.
Ford is like the only exception, just because like it's like a people name.
Also because you can ford a river. You know, like it's
Yeah,
a
but that's with
word
the
that
J,
exists.
though. That's fjord.
Shut up. That's not true.
Not true to you. I say fjord.
Fjord. Built tough.
Fjord. built the Fjord F-150. And we're funny. We're cool. This is a good podcast. Thanks, everybody.
I'm really glad
Um,
people come here to listen to the podcast.
I just feel like you say any car manufacturer's name more than like 3 times, and it just means nothing. It's not like a Candyman kind of thing. It just like starts to just, it's like Subaru, Subaru, Subaru. Like, what am I saying? It's nonsense. Spoken language is meaningless.
I feel like,
I will
I mean,
return
obviously
to the
that does
fertile crescent.
happen with all words after a while, but there's certain words that it happens with very quickly. Like the word the, no issues with it. You can say it a lot, and it's going to sound weird now that I specifically referenced it, but generally speaking, an excess of that word is not going to sound weird. However, saying Subaru more than like 3 or 4 times in a 5-minute segment, that's insane. What are you doing? Why would you continue to say that? I don't know.
Nah,
Feels
I get that
weird.
though. Yeah, there's just words. Sometimes I'll just be talking, and like I just stop getting it. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I really do.
This guy gets it. You play any video games?
Nothing special. Dan and I have been playing back through what was it? You know the game. It's a shitty
I
game.
don't. Oh,
Borderlands 2.
That's not a very good game. Yeah.
That's not a very good game. And I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it's been like a blast, but getting past the point where I've never gotten to before has been kind of nice.
Yeah, I think the game has a pretty fun gameplay loop and is like fairly entertaining and rewarding, and like yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff to it. It's just the dialogue is painfully unfunny and does not realize it isn't.
And that's the thing. I think the dialogue was like it was okay when it first
Yeah,
came out. It was just
exactly.
fine, and it has not
It's
gotten
like
better.
it is like bad writing that it thinks it is amazing writing. Because like there's times when you watch something and be like, this is bad writing that thinks it's bad writing or thinks it's okay.
Yeah,
But like Borderlands is like
it's bad
painfully
writing, and it sits there
unfunny
and it's
and
like,
it
"Hey, we're
thinks
not
it is the
funny."
funniest. Yeah, it's just like it has no self-awareness about the fact that it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like sometimes we talking to somebody who likes Borderlands, not so much in recent memory because I feel like the series
The
is a bit
I would say the
a bit
fandom has
tired.
died out.
The fandom is not at all what it once was, but there was a time when you talked to somebody who liked Borderlands and they would be like, this is the funniest thing ever. These characters are hilarious. A horse that poops diamonds, claptrap, and you're like, man, I get it, but it's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
No, you like ska music, right?
I do like ska music, actually. Why do you say that?
Oh, sorry, I just had to make that. I don't know why. That just felt like the right time to make that transition out of kind of left field. Um, I will say I think there is a bit of an emphasis on things being categorized as punk that were either always punk or are required to be somewhat punk, and I think ska is one of them.
Okay.
I think a lot of people will be like, yeah, it's like ska punk. Ska is pretty punk.
I gotta be honest, I hate when people say ska punk because I know that it's a term that the community uses, right? I know that in my heart, I know that that is just a categorizing, and it may even be more of a specified subset of ska for the guys that are more familiar with like first, second, third wave ska.
Yeah.
But like for me, it just feels like someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. They're like, yeah, I like
Yeah.
ska punk. I don't
I
like
feel
punk, but
like
I
the
like
same.
ska punk.
Yeah, I completely agree. And also, I heard a version of the Postal Service song "Such Great Heights," performed by Streetlight Manifesto on my drive home from Mars today, and I was like, "This is everything I needed, but not good, and that's okay."
Yeah, that sounds special.
Yeah, it was special.
I'm so back and forth on Streetlight Manifesto. I want to like
I
them,
agree.
but I only like about half of their stuff, if that.
That's very fair. I just was like driving. I was just playing like a shuffled like Spotify kind of like radio thing. I started off a song that I was vibing to, not at all ska related really.
Mhm.
And like like an hour later, it just like the song came on. It was like Such Great Heights, and I was like, oh, that's like the one like the Postal Service song. And then it started like with trumpets being like ba 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 na ba ba. I was like, huh? It's the same song. It's a cover of the Postal Service song that's like very like lo-fi, kind of like fuzzy, and it's just like with trumpets. And I was like, was it as good as the original? No. Was it good? Maybe not. But I really
But it
was just like
scratched an
laughing.
itch that you had that you didn't know that needed
I
scratched.
was just like laughing to myself in the car listening to it. And I was like, this doesn't make sense why there's an intersection here.
Oh,
Like sometimes you'll hear
ska
someone do
band
a
that
cover.
covered "Bad Guy" by Billie Eilish though?
Oh, I don't know. And
That one was relatively I mean, you know, Billie Eilish is recent famous, not like old famous, so you know, pretty new.
I am not familiar with that one. But it probably doesn't hit as hard as Such Great Heights by Streetlight Manifesto. If you're a Postal Service fan, maybe listen to it because it's kind of funny. If
At
you
least
don't
for
really
the
like the
joke.
Postal Service and you don't really like ska, you probably won't like it. But yeah, when I was thinking about like just like ska, like and people would be like, yeah, ska punk, and I'm like, where do you draw the line between ska punk and regular ska? Because most ska isn't that like corporate or like docile. Like the genre as a whole is very much like punk adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's a little like at least like depending on like the era of ska, some of it's a little bit cleaner. But like especially in modern ska, a lot of it's like very punk. Just as the genre has progressed. And I feel like I landed on the same place where I'm like where I feel about like folk punk, where it definitely exists and is a thing, but a lot of people will hear a song with like an acoustic guitar and be like, that's folk punk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, it's not. Like I firmly do not think the Mountain Goats are folk punk at all.
Really?
Like, yeah, what about them is punk?
Lyric stylings is generally where a lot of people will draw that line, but also the minimal chord
In
styles because it's not high skill music. It's just kind of like out there.
But a lot of what is considered folk punk is high skill music because a lot of folk music is very high skill. Well, not a lot. A lot of modern folk music, I guess. I guess traditionally it's not, but a lot of the folk punk is actually like insane.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like more detailed stuff in there. It's just I feel like it's not the same kind of and in defense of my incorrect opinion here, I feel
Well, you might
like
be right.
I confuse bluegrass and folk a lot,
That's really
and
fair.
I don't much like that personally. You know?
Yeah, I think bluegrass and punk or bluegrass and folk, the delineation is becoming progressively more and more mixed because I think more bands that are bluegrass are stemming into like the like pop culture and just people don't know like the categorization, so like yeah, it's folk.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think the Mountain Goats are punk music. Most of their songs, they're a couple of their big songs are more like are a little bit more edgy, a little bit more like kind of like I Got a Gun.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you got like No Children and like the Best Ever Death Metal Band out of Denton and like some of the other like big ones. But also like most of their songs are just like, yeah, I'm hanging out with my wife. We're singing songs, and you're like, yeah, this is fun.
Oh, I see
Like
you're
most
singing the
most
song
of it's
about
like
how
real.
Bob Dylan is just a really cool dude and he really likes Bob
Well,
Dylan and wants to be best friends with Bob Dylan. Oh wait, I'm
I don't
sorry.
think
No,
that's the.
no, that's an Against Me song that could be a Mountain Goats song. I apologize.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of Mountain Goat songs are just like quieter, like slower, and like just like storytelling. Most of them are like stories being told, and I feel like that's where it's just more like solidly folk. Like a lot of like the punk elements aren't really there. There's not really anything like anti-establishment to most of their music. Some of it, obviously, and I think some of the values are like pretty leftist with like the musicians themselves. But I just like I don't. I've never really found it to be very punk, and I feel like people are like, yeah, this is like folk punk. Like I feel like it shouldn't like they shouldn't be like the quintessential band for it. And it's not like me gatekeeping or anything. Like, call them whatever you want. Call them like indie pop. I don't care. But like
You can't call it indie pop, indie pop.
also like just indie is just one of those like nebulous terms anymore. Everything can be indie now.
I do hate that. Um,
Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, Phoebe Bridgers, like super indie. I'm like, well, no, not at all independent, and that's fine. But like that's kind of the point of the word is being completely taken away from it. Like now it just like at what point does it just like
stop
mean
mattering
nothing?
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, like and not that I'm like here like no, we gotta fight for independent musicians. Like, but more of like a why don't we use the things we create as categories for their intended purpose?
I feel like the indie scene of like the Modest Mouse era was really to blame for
Oh
that
hell yeah.
because people started using it as both a term of genre and a term of classification at that point.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like the Decemberist, Modest Mouse,
Hmm.
that era of indie.
Yeah, there's
Also, I
a
was just
lot.
kind of like laughing to myself today when like I was like, man, I feel like being into indie music and like wearing corduroys, drinking hot beverages, like wearing like layers is like like almost pseudo grunge, but like the indie alt style. I'm like, man, in like 5 years, we're gonna be making fun of that shit so hard.
I mean, people are making fun
That's
of it
gonna be the
now.
next. Oh, I mean, yeah, but like it is in the mainstream. It is like in the popular, and that's fine. Like I think, I mean, I do all those things. But also I'm like, man, in 5 years, like the kids who are gonna be 17 in 5 years are gonna be making fun of us so much. It's gonna be like the pumpkin spice lattes and scarves, man. Like we're gonna get destroyed. It's fine. It's all in good fun.
I'm never gonna forgive myself for having a style that can't use scarves because I like scarves, but my style doesn't lend itself to scarves, and also I don't feel like dealing with scarves, but like I like scarves.
Yeah. I think my style honestly could lend itself to some scarves because I wear a lot of layers and like wool and like cardigans and kind of stuff.
Hmm.
I don't want to bother with them. I'm not a fan. I just every time I have a scarf on me, I'm like I just want this shit's not sitting right. Like something about it's always just a little bit off. And if when I'm wearing clothes, if like this may sound weird, if I can feel them touch, like if I can feel them on me,
No, I get it.
I'm like, this sucks. Like if I have a scarf on me and I'm like, it's even like 1 micrometer out of place, I'm like, this shit sucks. I need it off of my body.
Hmm.
Uh, it's not literally that bad, but it's more of like it's just not as comfortable then. And then I'm just thinking about how it's not like placed right, and then I'm like, well, now I don't have the coziness of the scarf that it's intended for.
See, my issue with scarves primarily is I get too hot very easily, and scarves
Same.
um do not help in that regard.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you're probably not a glove guy.
I am a glove guy because my fingers don't get
Oh,
hot. It's like the rest of my body.
oh, I got hot hands.
Really?
Yeah, I like when I like do like snow blowing and like snow shoveling, I can't wear gloves because my hands will just like sweat and like it sucks. Like I mean, I don't want to say it sucks because like I know that like it's actually there's a lot of ways in which it's quite nice. But like if I wear gloves, as soon as I put the glove on, my hands like we're gonna sweat a lot right now. Is that okay?
Uh,
So yeah, it sucks. And then like as a result, I'll just like every once in a while if my hands get too cold, I'll just like stick 'em in my pockets for a minute. But like if I put gloves on, then my hands get too hot, and then like having hands that are too hot is just as bad as having hands that are too cold.
hmm.
And then you take the gloves off, and then your sweat freezes, and you're like, this sucks.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not a gloves guy.
Yeah, that's why I usually wear all my jackets open, and that because that way it's easy to maintain like a cooler body temperature, but also it's
Mhm.
really easy to warm up again if I need to because you just zip the jacket up.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's a
I think
nice
that's where
line.
cardigans hit like a perfect spot for me.
Hmm.
Is I'm like, man, I can have a cardigan on and then put a winter coat on over it in like the really cold months, and then I can just zip open my winter coat, and if that's still not like like cool enough, I can just unbutton the cardigan.
There you go. That's not
So
bad.
like and then you get like a couple layers of variance for your opening. So this is Jackson and Noah's winter strategies corner as we roll into winter.
Yeah, it's very important
Speaking
to
of
have
which,
these things
because
ready.
I guess our listeners probably don't know that it has already snowed here.
You know, Jackson, I got bad news for you. It hasn't really snowed here.
Fuck you.
Yeah. I had to scrape a little bit of like icy stuff off of my car window the other day, but
Yeah, we got got like 3 inches of snow in
are
Edinburgh.
you kidding me? Oh, yikes.
Yeah, well, the thing is, none of it stuck at all. So like there was like for a little while there was a very thin layer on the grass, but the roads were fine the whole time because it's still so warm out that like the snow did not like it was melting as soon as it was hitting the ground.
Hmm.
But yeah, it snowed like all day on I want to say Monday, so like last Monday, the
That's
first
about
of
when I
them.
had to scrape. So,
Yeah, we got some snow. And the Erie is closer to the lake though, so you guys don't get as much snow as we do a little further south.
mhm. The
Which
weather here is
have we talked about?
so
The
unpredictable.
weather here is so different than everywhere else. And we've probably talked about lake effect snow before.
Mhm. You know, it's
and
it's
why.
the cost of living near the lake and having a in theory milder winter is every now and then you also get absolutely dunked on.
Yeah. And then the nice thing about living like 30 minutes south of the lake is you are living further from the lake, so your winter's a little bit more harsh, but not that much worse. And you get way more of the dunking. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, man, settlers needed to figure this shit out. They gotta go, like, why'd they go there? Why'd they be making a school there in like 1865? Who be doing that?
Exactly. It's too much. Simply too much. Now, well, go figure. They
You a
decide to
snow
set up
guy?
near
You like
clean
the snow?
water.
Yeah, it's stupid. Running water and clean, fresh water that can be accessed to like a functionally limitless supply. Idiot. Go somewhere with less snow. Sick of this shit. No, you like the snow?
You know, I don't enjoy existing with ice, right? But there is nothing that I like more than being in my house
Oh yeah, I
and
love a good snow in a house.
just watching outside and knowing that outside it's cold enough to freeze my nose hair. But right now, I'm inside and it is not that
Hmm.
way.
I mean, out here in the country, I got a wood I got a fireplace. I got
Mhm.
that wood burning stove.
And
Um,
you do have a very, very nice warm spot.
it's nice to have like a little you can stand in front of the stove and you can also like see it going like on the best is on a nice like cold, dark, snowy night when you like walk out for like me. I like walk out of my bedroom, go into the like the living room, kitchen, dining room kind of area because I live in a trailer, and it's like you can just see the fireplace going away, and like outside the world is like calm and white, and there's just no action, nothing, just the light of the fire kind of shining on things. It's just calm,
Mhm.
and I value silence and calmness. Like I love a good peace and quiet, and I feel like the snow just is such a nice level of peace and quiet that is made available.
Yeah. And I think that's something that I don't get as much here being in the city. But
Yeah, you get more of like the brown snow that's like a slushy and like all the cars like smashing into each other.
mhm.
Now, if you had a Subaru Baja, that wouldn't be a problem
It's true. If I
because
had that
it's
Subaru
4-wheel
Baja.
drive, baby. Bring back the Subaru Baja. That's what I'm getting at. That's what it's all about. That's the reason for the season.
You know what? Maybe I'll
You
look
see
into buying a
Starbucks.
Subaru Baja as my new car.
You see, Starbucks got Christmas cups that aren't just red this year because the war on Christmas has been won.
What? No.
They have Christmas trees on them. I know haters will see that and be like, "Wow,
I can't
the war
believe
on
it.
Christmas is over." Joe Biden ended the war on Christmas. It's official. Christmas won. I hate this. Anyway, I went to Starbucks the other day.
I'm looking at
Because
these.
like
They
the
don't
winter
even
drinks.
look explicitly like Christmassy. They're just like,
One of them has a tree though. We take those.
I'm not even seeing a tree on some of these.
I thought the white ones had a tree on them.
No. Well, I mean, they all look like
Um,
wrapping paper. They're very festive
no.
looking. I like them a lot more than just red.
I like a little spot of festivity. Ooh,
Yeah,
these
I
ones are
mean,
not. What about aren't there white ones? I thought there were white ones that had a tree on them.
it's better
Maybe those
than
were just
last year's we or 2019's We Wish You a Merry Coffee.
Oh, I did hate that one.
That was just bad.
Yeah, it's just like what is it supposed to mean?
Merry
What are you
Coffee.
saying? But yeah, I went to Starbucks because I was visiting Mari, and I was like,
Yeah.
we were in town, and the Starbucks is close to the Walmart, so we are like, yeah, let's just stop and get some winter drinks since it's Christmas time.
Mhm.
Well, not really, but the Christmas drinks are coming in, so
Yeah, why
we
not?
went to go get some festive drinks, and waited in line for like 40 minutes, which was kind of crazy.
Oh,
And
yikes.
we were like, man, this is weird. But we were just like waiting in line slowly. It was moving forward. And then like a guy came out of the store from behind us and like put cones behind our car because we were like the last ones in like this little drive through line. And like all the other cars had to like leave. And we were like, what's going on here? And then they gave us both free drinks and then gift cards for next time we went there because apparently their system was down.
Mhm.
Which also leads me to another point of my visit this weekend, which was a like an Amber Alert style text alert going out to everyone in the county, letting
Uh-oh.
them know that 911 services weren't operating, and to call like the non-emergency line was turned into the emergency line for like the day. And I get that. It makes sense that you got to know that. But also, man, if you were ever about to do a crime,
Now you have like a heads up.
yeah, you're like, oh shit, they can't call 911. I guess I'll go rob this bank. Um, although at the same time, like I made a joke about that, and then I immediately realized, like not today, like the day it happened, and I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck that. Like, the cops never show up when people rob the bank anyway. They literally like go after them afterwards and look for the suspects. It's not like they don't show up for like another 20, 30 minutes. They don't stop crime. They just investigate crime for the most part. Which that's like as much as I hate the cops more than most people,
Mhm.
and that's not really a dig on them because in terms of stopping crime, it's kind of impossible unless you like literally live in like a super surveillance state. And I would rather have reactionary cops as opposed to omnipresent cops. And there's probably a balance to be struck somewhere in between there too. But
Mhm. Oh, hey. Wonderful news. Um
what's that?
I have jury duty tomorrow, right? I got confirmed that I
That's
had
good
jury
news.
duty, but I really didn't want jury duty, right? And I
That's
asked,
fair.
and I managed to get it switched to a day, hopefully, that I'm not scheduled for work. I'm really excited about that because I wasn't looking forward to. I was telling people that like I wouldn't mind jury duty if it was on like a day that I wasn't scheduled to work already because $9 to sit around all day. It's not great, but okay, I guess. But
If they pay
now,
you $9
yeah, $9,
for
and
jury
they
duty,
don't cover parking.
I didn't think they paid you at all. So like, I'm kind of excited for my next jury duty.
They also don't give you lunch, or water or
Turns
anything.
out getting stuck in line at Starbucks is actually more. You get more value than jury duty.
Yeah.
Because like at first, like Mario and I were like a little bit salty, not like mad, but like kind of like, man, this is
Mhm.
unfortunate. But then we were like, wait, we both got free drinks and a gift card from this. Because at first we were like, oh, are we getting anything? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, what do we do? Why did every other car leave? And then we were like, oh shit, we just got like $15, $16 worth of stuff for like 40 minutes of time. That's a pretty decent. That's a pretty good value proposition.
That's not bad, honestly.
Yeah, I was like, we made $15 an hour there.
Yeah,
Kind of.
could be worse.
You ever had jury duty before?
I never have. Have you?
I have not. I've been summoned for jury duty before, but I was living in a different state, and I was like, haha.
Yeah, my all-time worry has always been that I would get summoned and then miss it because from what I understand it's a prosecutable thing. But I'm now realizing, especially in the era of the internet, they give you all the walkthrough steps to go and register online. So I assume that obviously if you very blatantly skip several summons in a row, then they're probably going to be like, "Hey, what the hell?" But
I mean,
I think they're giving a little more wiggle room to the fact that maybe someone's going to actually end up missing and yeah, not getting in trouble if you don't sign up right away. I'm hoping at least. I don't know all the rules. Don't take legal advice about this.
yeah, I don't know much about the process of jury duty. I'm just kind of like, what happens? Like I've just been kind of waiting for the day I get a letter and I have to do something about it.
Mhm.
But I mean, when they select jurors, like, did you go through the selection process, or is it kind of the?
No, it was just a summons. It's just a blanket thing. I got to show up at 9:15 in the morning. Next week, I guess I'll assuming that they actually deferred within the week. Um, Next week I'll let you know what it's like. I'm assuming that I'm not gonna get chosen for anything, and that if I do, I'm just gonna sit around and be there, and then I can't actually talk about it later. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not typically allowed to text while on jury duty.
I don't think I can have my phone at all. I think
Yeah, that's
I'm
one of the biggest
hoping.
bummers. Like, I want to live tweet this.
Dude, I'm really just hoping that I'm gonna be allowed to bring a book, because 'cause I'm gonna die if I have to sit there and do nothing. That's about all I've got, if we're being honest. I know I can't bring in a phone, I can't bring in a laptop, and I can't bring in any weapons, which, go figure, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know why
Those are
people.
typically things you're not allowed to bring
Yeah.
a lot of places. Well, phone, laptop, yes, but weapon,
Mhm.
that's fair to not bring that to a courthouse.
I
But
would agree. One thing that they did specify, though, was that scissors and knitting needles count as weapons, and you cannot bring them, which,
do you
that's a
think that's
good
because?
clarification, I think, because I
Do you
think
think that's
grandmas.
because they're like, man, we don't want people to stab someone with a knitting needle, or is it more because like We just don't want to deal with people who are knitting the whole time.
I think honestly it could be both.
That's what I'm saying. Could be
Can you
a-
imagine sitting in trial and the judge is delivering this verdict and then the jury's off on the side and you just see this one dude just knitting away, click, 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 click.
Oh man,
Like,
I would be livid. I'd be like, you.
ooh, I would hate that.
I already have enough problems with knitting people. I see somebody knitting, I usually hit them. This is completely untrue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I don't know, Jackson. Maybe they were knitting a cardigan for you.
No, the betrayal. Oh yeah, Dan's not here today, by the way.
Yeah, Dan is not here today. Good for Dan. The in-laws are in town. He gets to hang out. He'll probably talk about
he's-
this next week, but I'm gonna steal his glory. He got a new monitor. And it looks
He did.
curved.
It does look like a curved monitor, which are cool, but I've always been like,
It
how do
is.
you handle having two of those? Because like at some point you just have a semicircle.
Honestly, I think that it kind of would be the goal at that point, right?
That's the see. I think for me that's not a goal, so maybe that's why I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I wouldn't mind having a larger monitor for like space allocating reasons, but I also would just like a second small monitor on the side so that I can manage my things that way. That would be just fine for me.
Are you a one monitor Marty?
I am, and I wish I wasn't,
You
but I am.
are. I see. I had no idea. I did not know. I thought you were a multi-monitor Marty.
No, I wish I was, but unfortunately all I have is just this one singular Marty.
Oh wow. No, you're the Marty. The monitor is the monitor.
I yes, I'm sorry. I am the Marty. The one singular Marty with the one singular monitor.
Yeah, I like a two monitor setup. I think for me it's very efficient. It's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice for when like I'm doing schoolwork.
Yeah. At work I have a monitor that's I work on a very large iMac.
Okay.
And it's big enough that I can keep my programs separated pretty well. So what I'll usually end up doing is I have a little tiny sliver that I devote to YouTube, and I will have a YouTube video playing as my like background noise the whole time. And then I have like 4/5 of the rest of the screen devoted to like work. But there's a big shelf right near my desk that blocks the tiny corner that I block off for personal things. And it works out really well, in my opinion. I also, no one there actually knows what I do, and they don't understand how I do it. So I literally could get away with borderline murder, and they wouldn't stop me.
If you do, I better not get summoned to jury duty. That's all I gotta say.
A jury of my peers, and you're like, sorry, I need to be
Kill him.
excused. Oh, never mind. I'm against the death penalty, but not this time.
Usually I'd say no death penalty, but for this guy, this is a piece of shit.
He was just stealing productivity from work. And you're like, yeah, I know.
Eh, I know, and that's why I think you should be killed.
Sir, I think you need to leave.
That's fair.
And
scene.
Oh, I hate
We
that.
have fun here. I love how we were both like, and scene.
This is
that's-
what would happen if I would killed someone and went to jury duty. Ooh.
And this is what would happen if I was one of the jurors.
Bows to audience.
This is good content, and if you've listened this far, thank you.
I don't know that I have anything else to say today, if we're being honest.
You know, I feel like we can't top what just happened. And that's not saying that much, honestly, but I feel like it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll have more to talk about next week. Jackson, you will not be here, question mark?
probably not.
Okay, in that case, without Jackson here next week, most likely, we might try and get a guest, we might not. But either way, we'll be here. So thanks for listening this week and tune back next time. I guess I don't know. I got nothing here right now.
Yeah, you got
So-
mind flooded.
Yeah. Whew.